Howdy, everyone. Are you a diehard movie fan who can't get enough of your favorite films? Then we have just the thing for you. Go to moviesbyminutes.com, the ultimate destination for movie enthusiasts like you. Moviesbyminutes.com is the hub for all things movies, but with a unique twist. Instead of watching a film in one sitting, you can dive deep into your favorite movies 1 minute at a time. It's like getting an exclusive behind-the-scenes pass to your most beloved movies, and we break down iconic movies into bite-sized episodes where our hosts dissect and discuss each minute of cinematic magic. Whether you're a fan of action-packed blockbusters, heartwarming rom-coms, spine-chilling thrillers, or even classic masterpieces, MoviesByMinutes.com has a podcast series for your every genre and taste. Get ready to enhance your movie watching experience like never before. MoviesByMinutes.com. It's like having a front row seat to the magic of the silver screen, 1 minute at a time. Don't miss out on this cinematic adventure, folks. Visit MoviesByMinutes.com today and unlock a whole new dimension of movie appreciation. Howdy, everyone. Are you ready for a summer full of strikes, spares, and unforgettable fun? Then we've got the perfect program for you. It's Kids Bowl Free, the ultimate way to keep your kids entertained and active all summer long. That's right, folks. Kids Bowl Free is the hottest program in town, and it's absolutely free. Say goodbye to summer boredom and hello to endless excitement at your local bowling center. Bowling's a fantastic activity for kids of all ages. It promotes physical fitness, coordination, and teamwork while providing loads of laughter and friendly competition. And here's the best part. With Kids Bowl Free, your little ones can bowl 2 free games every day all summer. Can you believe it? 2 games every day, absolutely free. That's an unbeatable deal, and it's a chance for your kids to sharpen their bowling skills, spend quality time with friends and family, and make some amazing memories. Plus, did I mention, it's all for free. So parents, why wait? Visit kidsbowlfree.com today and sign up for this summer's most talked about program. It's quick, easy, and did we mention it's free? So gather up your crew, lace up those bowling shoes, and get ready to knock down some pins. Your kids will thank you. Kids Bowl Free program availability and terms may vary by location. Visit kidsbowlfree.com for more details.
I now declare the quick draw competition open.
Howdy, everyone. Pull up a chair, kick up your boots, take a sip on a nice cold brew. It's the Quick and the Pod, the Season 2 episodes of the Support Your Local Podcast Show, where we take a look at the 1995 Western classic, The Quick and the Dead, one scene at a time. I am your host, as always, Robert Smith, coming to you from beautiful Tombstone. Yes, that one. Today, we're going to take a look at Chapter 27, Ellen versus Herod. Before we do, I just want to warn you, I'm enjoying a beautiful, beautiful morning. It's about 6 o'clock in the morning out here in Arizona, and just sit out here on the porch enjoying the weather. It's not too ridiculously hot, but it's also not too ridiculously cool. It's about 75. But as soon as I started to hit the record button, we had about 2 or 3 birds decide that they wanted to chime in on the podcast. So if you hear some random chirps in the background, I apologize in advance. I'm trying to enjoy nature, folks. Anyways, we start our chapter with a reverse of the shot that took us into that dream sequence. And this time it's pulling away from Sharon Stone's face and her wild mane of hair. And it also pulls away from a close-up of Herod. And I thought that this was pretty cool because it's the opposite of the zoom that we've had before every other fight. So it's always a nice little touch to see something just slightly different. It's the same concept, same technique, but just put in reverse, it just gives it a different little feel. And seeing it used that way, I had to wonder, as the zoom from her face could be representing her coming out of her memories of that fateful day. I remember last chapter we saw finally the full scene unfold of the flashback where Ellen, who we found was the little girl, was unfortunately forced to try to free her father, Gary Sinise, from the hangman's noose. And Regardless, I discussed how I felt about that. She should have aimed to the side, but whatever. Maybe she was aiming to the side. I don't know. Maybe that's exactly what she was doing, and she's just such a poor shot that she still shot Gary Sinise in the head. I don't know, but if the zoom from her face in this scene is meant to represent her coming out of that dream sequence, are they also showing Herod coming out of the same thing? Was he, having seen that badge or not seeing it, if you listened to my rant before, is he being taken back to the past and reliving that moment as well? Thoughts? Hit me up. Let me know what you think. Is Herod, he obviously truly knows, we think he knows who this person is. I mean, maybe, and I didn't get into this with a rant because I was so caught up on him not being able to see the marshal badge. Does he still not know what the hell's going on? Just this random lady who he thought was dead is showing up out of the flames of his recently exploded town. And he's just so confused as to what the hell is going on. He still doesn't know why this lady doesn't like him, why she's back, why she's out to kill him. He's just befuddled as to what all is going on. And are we mistaking the look on his face for him realizing the situation? Like, I personally think that Herod's such a bad dude and has done so many bad things that it's the M. Bison of Street Fighter, and stay tuned for some announcements about that. I think I kind of alluded to that before as well. For her, it was the most fateful day of her life. For Herod, it was just a Tuesday. Does he truly not even know what it is that she's out for revenge for, because she's one of 6,000 little girls that he made shoot their dads in the head? Thoughts? Hit me up. We see Court walking closer behind Ellen, and Herod puts his gun back into his holster, and he's yelling, "You're not fast enough for me." And is there any better way to express control and psychological warfare than to go from being this cold, calculated person where every word he says is measured and every word he says comes with the weight of a killer behind it, to being this old man, confused and befuddled, screaming at the clouds, essentially at this lady. It's just a nice touch of seeing the degradation of this character, this person that was in such control of everything, every breathing moment of this town. And in a matter of seconds, his entire town gets blown up. He's hurt and concussed, obviously, from all this. Having this lady come back from the dead, not being able to have his gunfight. I mean, just all these things come crashing down, and it hurts inside. All these things come crashing down on him, and we see that he has finally lost control. And it's just a nice little touch of him resorting to having to yell that you're not fast enough for me. Is he convincing himself, But anyways, he's either that caught up in his professionalism that he wants this to be a real gunfight, or he realizes that Court will kill him if he breaks the rules, which, screw that. The tournament is null and void. Let's face it. The lady was declared dead by the presiding doctor, and whether that's a legitimate doctor or not, he was the one that was tasked with declaring people that are dead, and he did so. And she has no claim to the finals with Herod. Per the bracket that we've seen throughout this entire movie, this gunfight is to be between Herod and Court. That's how it was set up. That was, just because she got disqualified, the lady doesn't get to cash in a Money in the Bank briefcase. That's not the rules of the time. That event, WWE did not even exist back then. WWF from way back when did not even exist then. So I am, me personally, I am writing a protest letter to the officials of the GFLA, the Gunfighters League of America, and expressing my concern that if this is the kind of willy-nilly, loosey-goosey, timey-wimey type of rules that we have for these tournaments, I don't know that I'm going to continue to watch their annual tournament. I doth protest. Herod tells her that she's not fast enough for him again, and this time she replies, "Today I am." And let's be real for a moment. Just like Court is not at 100% because of the supposed beating that he took by Ratsy. The gun was nowhere near his hand. I even used that scene as the picture, the thumbnail for posting the episode on Facebook and on Instagram. So check us out on social media, support your local podcast, and you'll see that like this gun is nowhere near Court's hand, but we'll pretend. Herod is noticeably disoriented. I mean, this dude had 2 buildings explode around his head. So even if the lady does beat him, and we'll find out very soon if she does, this is a tainted victory. This is not Herod at his best. He's facing this lady under distress and under formal protest from the GFLA by me. We're talking an asterisk next to this if she's able to beat him. Just throwing that out there. This has to go in the record books with an asterisk. I don't care. We get a shot of Maddie and Katie and Pat Hingle and even the blind boy and the doctor watching on. And it's noticeable that these are all of our good-hearted people, and that all of the riffraff have kind of scattered and they're not to be seen anywhere around. And that dwindling down of rowdiness I've been talking about throughout the movie is a nice subliminal touch of the influence of Herod slowly fading away. And the shot also serves as a nice little warm and fuzzy of like, despite all this death and destruction going on around them, like they're literally destroying the town with the kids' dynamite. We get to see all of our good guys all in one shot. Like, hey guys, don't worry, the dog made it. If there was a dog in this movie, the dog would be there. The blind boy would be patting him on the head or something, just to let people know that, vengeful spirit or not, we understood that these people were being held kind of against their will to act the way they did. They still didn't succumb to some of the darker tendencies of the town, and they're okay, guys. They're right here. We get their nice little send off. The 2 of them, the lady and Herod, stand off, and I'm not sure what they're using to signal go, because, well, they kind of blew up the clock tower. And maybe Pat Hingle just looks at his pocket watch and goes, "Chime!" To which, finally, there would be a chime. She draws first, and Hackman draws afterwards. And both get a shot off, but the lady screams in pain. And I'm not sure where exactly she's hit, but she does bunch up her shoulder again, so we have to assume it's in that area. Herod blinks and he grins, but then he slowly realizes that something is wrong, and he looks at his shadow on the ground and he notices a shiny hole in it, just a pinprick of light coming through the middle of his torso. And we get yet another shot of sunlight going through someone as we see Herod is ran through in the middle of his chest, and he just stands there. His arms are agape at the sight, and he then collects himself and he raises his gun for another shot, but before he can get one off, the lady shoots again, and we get a great Raimi POV shot from the bullet coming at him. It's a classic Raimi shot, straight out of Evil Dead, where the zoom in, the camera is just zooming straight into the face of somebody. How many times have we seen Bruce Campbell with a scream on his face as a deadite cam is coming towards him? It's just a great little touch, and just one of the final reminders in this movie, because we are fastly approaching the end of it, of who the director is and some of the great things that he puts on the screen. Herod screams as the bullet enters his eye, and it sends him flying backwards, ass over tea kettle, as they say. And she walks over to the now obviously dead Herod, or is he? Let's face it, it is a Sam Raimi movie. And we get a not so great shot of the wig on the back of Hackman's head. It's not the best special effects. I mean, I think maybe we blew our budget on the Cantrell scene, but in contrast, it is a really great shot of the bullet wound in the back of that wig, and we end our scene as she kicks him just to make sure. And I have to admit that I thought that's a great thing to do. Always it's right up there. Maybe she should have double tapped it, but after Spotted Horse and knowing how incompetent the doctor is, and knowing that you're in a Sam Raimi flick, it couldn't hurt just to check to make sure that the big bad is dead. But that's where we end our scene, guys. Obviously, here we are. We're not fast approaching the end of our movie. We're at it. We're knocking on the end of the movie's doorstep. We finally had our big bad vanquished. We finally had the showdown that the movie has been alluding to. We didn't think we were going to get it. Ellen was dead. We thought it was going to have to be Court being the vengeful spirit for our vengeful spirit. But she came back, and she vanquished the bad guy. So finally had the big showdown. Now that's all that's left is the resolution. And we will hit that when we come back next week for Chapter 28 with my great friend, my guest, Brian Bowser from Top Gun Minute will join us there. He will be the last guest of the show as well as he was the first guest. So definitely come back, stay tuned for that. If you haven't already, folks, please like, share, follow, subscribe. Hit us up on all the social medias. It is absolutely free to do so, but it does huge things for the show, and gives me the little warm and fuzzies. I do a little happy dance every time I see something new posted on there. But check us out. We are Support Your Local Podcast on Facebook, on Instagram, and YouTube. Definitely check us out there. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, feedback, if you'd like to be a guest on future episodes, if this is your gateway into the podcasting world, or if you're a podcasting giant and for whatever reasons listening to my little show that could, hit me up. It's SUPP, SUPP, your local podcast at gmail.com. Definitely hit us up. But until then, folks, as always, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for listening to us. I love you all. Please remember to always support your local podcast.